What's up, guys? Mike here. Listen, it is January 3rd, and you have all the same people with the beginning of the year, super excited, new beginnings, and all these fun New Year's resolutions kinds of things, and nobody. I don't want to say nobody, but there has been a little bit of a push lately of people kind of posting and motivating that you don't have to wait until the first of the year to make a change. And you also should probably stop and look back at why you keep doing this thing of messing up or falling off or doing whatever, and starting at the beginning of the year with New Year's resolution to kind of get back in shape or lose whatever. Now, I've been doing this whole personal training thing for the last 14 years, and it's always been a thing. We know the gyms are packed in the for the next month and a half, and the thing is, nobody builds the discipline, right? So we all know that the person who goes and gets lap bands or like some sort of surgical procedure done to help them lose weight, we all know that they have a tendency to still do the bad stuff that got them overweight. And the reason being is because they don't learn how to do it properly. Well, that kind of goes, the same thing, same mentality applies to everyone who kind of goes hard in the beginning of the year, or starts a new diet and then falls off, or starts a new program, starts a new class, whatever, and they disappear after, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and then they kind of fall all the way off into the deep end. And the reason being is you haven't built up consistent discipline. I think that's kind of what it should be called, is consistent discipline is what we'll give it a name for. And what that is going to the gym when you don't feel like it, doing the workouts even though you had a long day, or it's cold out, or you woke up late, or whatever it is. The consistent discipline needs to be there for you to push through the tough times, so that when it comes time to fall off, or whatever it is that we do, you find that strength, that grit, that hunger inside that you've trained yourself to do, that consistent discipline comes up and overpowers your excuses. Okay? Now, whoever knows me knows that I'm the no excuses guy. It's been something that I started my business on, is the no excuses. I started no excuses back in 2008, before Instagram, before Facebook was big, before all of this stuff. I started no excuses. I still have a yard sign that I stuck into the ground that said Maximum Results Boot Camp, no excuses, and then it had my phone number underneath. I made yard signs back in 2008. So what happens is many people, I would say 97% of people who work out. That's it. All they do is go to the gym and work out. All right, let me say this. 97% of the people who go to the gym go and work out. All right, the 3% of the people who you see there all the time, no matter what, that 3% has built up consistent discipline. All right, so they go when it's snowing, they go when on a holiday, when it's like a half a day at the gym, they go winter, summer, spring, fall, they go. No matter what, it is part of their routine. And those people have set it up that way in their life to where they know, just like waking up and brushing your teeth, wake up, brush your teeth, get dressed, grab my water jug, grab my gym bag, out the door to the gym. It's all part of it, and that comes from consistent discipline. The people who bunny hop from going from spin for like 6 weeks, and then they make some excuse, or the instructor changes so they don't do it anymore. Now they're going to go do Zumba, then they're going to go do Pilates in 6 weeks, and they're doing this class and that class. Those people never ever develop consistent discipline. Now, granted, yeah, you're still doing stuff, okay? I'm cool with the fact that you are still doing something. But the reason why you're not getting results is because you're not consistent, and there's no consistent discipline. And that goes with everything. We're talking about everything. We're not just talking about hitting the gym 3 times a week. We're talking about making it part of your life, making it one of your daily habits, which includes following a nutrition plan, eating, which includes drinking water, and it includes being mentally tough when it comes to all the things that happen in our daily life. What do I mean by that? Listen, shit happens, okay? Kids get sick, school gets canceled, snow days, work's crazy, loved ones get sick and you have to take care of them. There's numerous amounts of things. Not even a bad one, you go on vacation for a week. So what do? Do you not work out? And then you come and you eat your face off, and then you come back and you're like, oh my God, I don't feel like going to the gym. It's just, like things like this are the things that those 97% of the people do, right? And listen, you want to live your life, I get it. Okay, you want to have your cake and eat it too, we'll call it. You want to have fun, you want to drink, you want to go out, you want to go out to dinner, it's fine, but you don't get to complain that you don't have results either. And I will tell you, that person that likes to go out to eat, they like to have a few drinks with the girls, or the guys who go on buddy trips and drink their face off, those are part of the 97%. And they fall off, and things happen, and then they gotta get back at it. But if you make it part of your daily life and your daily routine and a daily habit, and build that consistent discipline, that mental toughness, even if you do go away, you will work out, or you will eat a little bit better than the buddy next to you that doesn't have that mental toughness. You will not drink you won't get annihilated so that you can't function the next day. Okay, you might have a couple drinks, but you know what? Guess what? You're waking up early the next morning and going to the hotel gym. There's a difference in those two people. All right? And I will tell you this. There's not one successful person that doesn't have a plan, doesn't write down the goals, right? Just like I've said in many videos, you can't go to the gym without some sort of plan, without goals. You can't work out without goals. Otherwise, you're just gonna literally be treading water, and that's it. You can't go to the gym on a Monday without a plan, because you're just gonna go there and only do the things that you feel like doing. You should have a whole program written out, and if you don't, just message me, because you need to have a plan written out. Otherwise, you're gonna go there and you're gonna you're gonna hop on the treadmill. You're gonna look at your phone for like 17 minutes, some weird number. You're just gonna walk, right? You're gonna walk. You're gonna turn it on, and whatever speed it gets you at, that's comfortable, you're gonna stay at. And then you're gonna look at Facebook for 17 minutes, and you're like, all right, let me the machines over there, they're kind of busy. There's a lot of people over there, so I'm just gonna hide back in this corner over here, and I'm gonna do some abs. I'll do some abs for a little while, and I'm gonna look at my phone so I can get some ab ideas. And meanwhile, while I'm doing that, I'm also going to check out Instagram, and I'm gonna scroll through this girl's Instagram page and find some cool ab ideas. Oh, one of my friends liked this same post. Let me see what she's doing. I'm gonna click on her profile, and I'm gonna look at her stuff. And the next thing you know, you've been at the gym for an hour and you did jack shit because you had no plan, and you wanted to use an excuse that the machines were busy or whatever it is. You go without a plan, and that's the shit that happens. You only do the things that you feel like doing. Whereas if you had something written out and you have a routine, get on a treadmill for 5 minutes and warm up, okay? Go kind of scope out the situation, make sure the bench is open. It's Monday, bench is open, so you know it's going to be a chest day or some. To me personally, you know Monday is going to be a chest day at the gym. So I don't put chest day on Mondays. Okay, I put leg days, because half these guys in the gym don't even do legs. So I know the squat rack is going to be wide open, especially on a Monday. Okay? Scope out the area to make sure, like, all right, that dude's almost done with the bench, so I'm going to stop my warm-up a minute early because I see him unracking the bar. So I'm going to hop off real quick, and I'm going to go over there and snag that bench real quick. All right, these are the little things that most people, 97% of people, don't do. And if you start doing these things, they start becoming habits, and you start becoming more comfortable and confident with some of the things that you want to do. So here's an idea. If I'm going to the gym at the same time every day, right? Most people are creatures of habit. So if you're a 5:30 a.m. guy and you start going to the gym 5:30 every day, you're going to start seeing the same people, because they're doing the same thing. They're 5:30 a.m. guys and girls. Okay, so you just start seeing similar familiar faces, right? Just like if you're a after work working out person, whatever. If you work out, 5:30 at night or 6 o'clock at night, gets a little busy in there, you're gonna start seeing familiar faces, because all the same people are gonna go at those times. What you should start doing, and become more comfortable doing this and more confident in yourself, the more you are consistent discipline, all right? The more consistent you are, the more you're gonna see these people. So guess what? guess what you can do on Mondays when you know John is doing chest on Mondays and he's there every Monday when you are. Go sit down near the bench, you know, grab your headphones out of your bag, grab your water. You know John's going to finish up soon. You say, hey, what's up, man? Yeah, you know, good job on that last set. You know, let me hop in with you as soon as you're done, or how many sets you got left. Start shooting the shit, and now you just claim that bench. Say, oh, yo, let me hop in after you when you're done. You know, I'm gonna, you know, you can leave a plate on each side so I can warm up. You know, shoot the shit with them, and that way you start getting more comfortable and more confident. Plus, you just met somebody, so that if you want to go heavy on bench, yo, John, listen, you mind giving me a spot in a little bit, because I'm gonna try to max out a little bit. Guess what? You just met somebody, plus you got somebody that's going to give you a spot. So now you can start going heavier, because if you don't have a spot, you're not gonna try to max out without a spot. And that eliminates an excuse that you don't have to go heavy now. So guess what? You just claimed your bench, and you just got a spotter, so now you can start maxing out. That's just an example. Consistent discipline. You start going there regularly, you start getting recognized, you start recognizing people, you start making friends, you can start working out a little bit more consistently and confidently. And listen, I know it's a scary thing. I was in that boat 20 years ago. I went down to the basement gym in my college I went to a community school for 2 years, and I was scared shitless. I had no clue what I was doing. And I watched a lot of guys, and I went consistently. I started seeing a lot of the guys there. I'd, you know, just give them a what's up. And I got into it. And luckily, and this is how most people are, and I'm going to say this. If you find somebody, if you we'll use a meathead as an example, right? Some guy who's in there all the time. And I'll use this guy at the last gym I was going to pretty religiously. This guy, Big Sam. And I knew Big Sam from the previous gym that I worked out at. And Big Sam is a big, scary black dude. Okay, he's just a massive guy. Like, I don't even know how they have shirts that fit this dude. And he don't say a word. He doesn't, you know, he'll give you like a, you know, if he knows somebody, he'll give them like a quiet, like, what up, like, doesn't say a word. He just gives them like a nod. You know, hat down, in over his eyes, flat brim, just kind of, if it's chilly out, he's got the hoodie up, right? Like, this dude he looks like he'll kill you. And I'm just saying that as, like, if I was 18 or 17, if he was at the gym that I first started at, like, I would be scared of that dude. Like, I probably would leave. Or probably, like, if he's in the free weights area, I'd be like, you know what, I'm going to stay away from him and I'm going to go to the gym. I'm just kind of I'm exaggerating a little bit. But come to find out, Big Sam is the coolest dude in the world. And if you have any questions about working out, or you need a spot, or anything about workout related, he will sit there and talk to you for a half hour about it. And that is speaking from a meathead's point of view, because when I used to lift super heavy, people probably perceive me the same way. But if some young kid came up to me and asked me for a spot on the bench, I would love to do it. And I will be more than happy to give that kid tips if he asks. I'm not gonna just tell him, you know, out of the blue, like, hey, you should start doing this or that. But if he asked, I'd be more than happy to tell him. So never judge a book by its cover, because when I went down to that basement gym. When I first started out, I had just turned 18, and this gym, I mean, we're talking had like rust on the plates and like not matching dumbbells, and shit was like scattered everywhere, and I didn't even know where to start. So I would like kind of do some of the stuff that I like thought I knew, but I would keep my eye on those other guys. And I just kind of did some of the stuff that they did. And eventually I got to know them. And they took me under their wing. And I remember this one dude, he always wore a long sleeve shirt. He always wore a thermal, like those waffle thermals, long sleeve. And his name was Clay. I'm going to tell you that right now. His name was, yes, Clay. His little brother, whatever. I'm not going to give it too much away. But this dude always wore like a hoodie or a long sleeve, but he always had a thermal long sleeve on underneath. So he would like, couple sets in, he would probably take the hoodie off, but he'd always have the thermal on. And he was a strong dude. One day, like a year after I met this dude, took his thermal off and had a tank top underneath, and this dude's fucking arms were the size of my head. And I said, from now on, I'm going to listen to anything this guy says. Anything he tells me, I will listen. And he gave me a lot of tips and tricks and like ideas and motivation, and I learned a lot from this guy. And that comes from being there consistently, the consistent discipline. And I will tell you, the more you get into it, the more you start to enjoy it. You know, like if you are going, like if you are only going like a few days a week to like work out, to like, it gets boring. It gets boring because you never are going to progress. So you're always going to be striving for like a little bit of progression, and it's not going to happen because you're not going consistently enough, and it's going to be boring. You start going consistently 5 days a week, your body is going to progress so much that it never will ever get boring, because you'll start adjusting and you'll start adding weight, you'll start adding exercises, you'll start adding drop sets or supersets or giant sets or burnouts, whatever it is. You'll start adding in all these extra fun things because your body can now do it because you're consistent enough that it will never get boring. And you'll always be excited about the next day or the next week's workouts. Like, yo, I can't wait to try to hit this next weight next week. Like, I can't wait until next Tuesday or whatever it is. And that's what comes from the consistent discipline of doing the things. That's what it is. I don't, and I'm telling you, 97%. I've worked in big box gyms. Okay, I've worked in little small studios. I've seen all the types of clients and people that show up and work out that 97%, and next year they're gonna start over on January 1st, or they're gonna make that resolution, or you know, whatever it is. Like, I can't tell you how many people this year told me that they were gonna start on January 3rd, which is today when I'm making this video, because it was a Monday. Like, why wait? Like, what are you waiting for? So you can sabotage yourself from Christmas to New Year's and destroy, you know, your liver and your stomach and your anything that you wanted to work for. Like, why not just start? Just start. When you've had enough of your bullshit excuses to yourself, start. But if you're the type of person that I'm going out with the girls, so on New Year's, so I'm gonna start on that Monday. Well, what's gonna prevent you from making the excuse in 3 weeks when the girls want to go out again? You're not gonna say no. I'm not drinking because I'm on a diet, or you're not gonna say no. We can't go out and go out to dinner because I'm on a diet and I can't eat that stuff. You're not gonna say that because you haven't built up the consistent discipline, because you waited until after the holidays because you were making excuses then. And the consistent discipline, once you build it program it into your body and your brain and your life, nothing is going to bump you off track. And another cool thing that you can add in is say, hey, listen, you know what? Let me go out with the girls. I can go eat. Because one, you know that you're not going to drink your face off because it's not really your thing anymore. And two, if you even try to eat like shit, you're going to feel like shit within like 6 bites, right? You want to go have some fucking pizza or something? After one slice of pizza, you're going to feel like shit. And it's going to throw you off. So you know that, like, all right, let me go out with the girls. I'll drink like something light, whatever. You want to drink like vodka tonics or something like that, and go out and have dinner and get like something healthy. And it don't have to be salad. Get some grilled salmon or something and some vegetables. But you've built up that consistent discipline to where you can control yourself when you're out. Because you've built it up and you've built it into your life. Whereas these other girls who aren't doing those things, they will eat like shit and feel fine. And that's not good. I had this one client, and I have this 21-day nutrition plan that I put a lot of clients on because it helps them kind of program their body to start. It's like a jump start. It's a 21-day like reset kind of thing. And this one client, she wouldn't do it. She just wouldn't do it. She thought that she can out-train her bad habits. She never went on like any nutrition plan. She thought like, oh, well, I eat pretty good. But she drank a lot too. And she drank with the boys. Like, she couldn't hold her own. She would like have like 10 beers with the boys and be fine. And then she finally, like after a year, she's like, all right, listen, just give me the 21-day program. I'll do it. I was like, all right. So about, I would say 12 days in of super clean. Now, this girl followed it, and I could tell within 12 days that she was already making progress. And she texted me. She was like, listen, my brother came into town, and we want to go out. Like, we're going to go out for drinks. What? She's like, can I drink on this? Because it doesn't say that I can't drink on this. And technically, it kind of does. It says you're drinking only water. And I knew that she hadn't built up the consistent discipline yet. But I wanted to show her. I wanted to prove to her that it works. So I said, yeah, you know what? Go ahead. Have a couple drinks with have drinks. Go out with your brother. So she goes and she texts me at like midnight. She's like, holy shit, now I know why you told me I could drink. She's like, I had 2 beers and I'm hammered. And that was like proof that it worked. The consistency of eating clean, not drinking, only drinking water, and being healthy got her hammered off of 2 beers, and she felt like shit the next day. And guess what? The next day, she had to start over on day one of the 21 challenge, or the 21-day nutrition plan. So it's just like this is like a lot of the stuff that I try to ingrain into my clients and into anyone who wants to like come into Maximum Results Fitness is, I'm trying to make this the lifestyle thing. And I'm not telling you have to be a perfect angel your entire life from here on out if you want results. But I'm telling you have to be a perfect angel more times than a week than you're not. And the more times, the difference there, the more times a week that you are than you're not, the faster and better results you're going to get. So let's just use an example. I try to simplify things whenever I have a new client come to the gym and say, hey, listen, how many days do you recommend I work out? I recommend that you work out more times a week than you're not. So you got to think about that. If you're only working out 3 times a week, that's 4 days a week you're not doing shit. And yeah, you might try to tell yourself that you're, my job is like high activity, but it's fucking not, because you wouldn't be signing up for a personal trainer, or you wouldn't be slipping and gaining weight if it was, right? It's that simple. I mean, stop lying about it. Just because you have a flight of stairs at your job doesn't mean that your job is high activity. Just because you could take the stairs at your work instead of the elevator doesn't mean you have high activity. Because guess what? 7 out of 10 times you're going to take the elevator because you're going to use an excuse that like, my legs are sore from the gym, or I will tomorrow. I'll start taking the stairs tomorrow. Because you wouldn't be in the situation, you wouldn't be part of that 97% if you were doing all the right things. I tell people all the time, like, oh, well, they sign up, and I said, listen, I want you, preferably you working out more times a week than you're not. And those don't have to be with me. Like, you don't have to train with me 4 times a week. But the fact of the matter is that you're here hiring a personal trainer because you can't do it on your own. So don't tell me that you're going to train with me twice a week and then also go to Planet Fitness 2 times a week, because guess what? You're not going to do it. You're not, because you would not be paying me money if you could do it on your own. So part of the consistent discipline is being aware of what you're capable of. When I came to New York, when I came back to New York and I started my boot camp, it was the thing that a lot of people needed that went to that gym, right? I remember a dozen people being like, oh my God, this is what I needed. I've been like kind of doing my own thing, but I've never been getting results, and this is what I needed. So after 6 months of them doing my boot camp, or a year, or even a couple of years, and I've tried to teach my clients this stuff, but nobody ever takes notes. But I teach it to you, like I try to instill the motivation inside you so that you could do it on your own. But then they fall off, or I'm sorry, they stop doing boot camp and think that they can do it on their own. But before boot camp, they weren't getting results. They never took notes during boot camp, and then they try to go do it on their own, and they disappear, or they fall off. So part of it is the self-awareness of like, oh shit, I can't do this on my own because I haven't built up the consistent discipline. I haven't incorporated this into every aspect of my life, so when I get home, I stuff my face. Or when the girls call me and I want to go out, I go out. Or, you know, whatever it is, whatever the excuse is, you know, it's not there. Build up the consistent discipline. Make it part of your life. Whether it's with a trainer or not. You know, I have very successful clients, successful in all aspects, all the other aspects of their life. And they're not dumb people. They're very successful individuals that say, Mike, I'm going to pay you for the rest of my life because I won't do this on my own. That self-awareness, that vulnerability will get them further in life and further in the gym, because they're not lying to themselves that, oh, I can do this on my own, or I can do this just as hard on my own. You know, some people can go to the gym 4 or 5 times a week, but are they going to push themselves? No. I've had so many people tell me that 25 reps with me is a lot harder than 25 reps on their own. Or I'll sit there and watch a client. I'll say, hey, listen, go grab some dumbbells because we got 50 curls. And I'll watch them grab a pair of dumbbells, and I'll see what weight they grab, because I want to see what they think that they're capable of. And my goal is to train my clients with the confidence and the comfort to get out of their comfort zone. So instead of grabbing, you know, 12s, they grab 15s, or they, you know, instead of grabbing 15s, they grab 20s, or, you know, girls, instead of grabbing 8s, they jump it up to the 10s, or whatever it is. My goal is to instill that in you. But if you're sitting there and you're supposed to grab the 12s and you end up grabbing the 10s, then I know I still got work I got to do with this client. Or, you know, one of the rules that I was taught by that guy Clay is, if we're doing, you know, dumbbell curls, and I just did a set of 20s and now we go up on the next set, so I rack those and I shake it out a little bit, grab a sip of water. Now my next set is 25s, and those 25s are missing. Some guys got them over there doing shoulder press with them. Well, guess what? I don't sit there and grab the 20s or sit there and wait for the 25s. Clay taught me in my mind 21 years ago, well, guess what? 25s or 30s it is, because that's the next set of dumbbells that are available, and it's time to start curling, so I can't wait. And I'm not doing the 20s again because I just did them, so now it's 30s. Oh well, that's what it is. And that's the shit that you need to drive home in your head, because you have the choice. Grab the 20s and do the fucking weight you just did like a sissy. Wait for the 25. So now I'm fully recovered. The blood has left my thighs. So, you know, I took way too long of a break, so I'm not going to get the same out of the 25s as if I did when I should have done them and I, you know, didn't wait for the guy. Or I jump up to the 30s and get more results. What are we in the gym for? We're not in the gym to do the easy stuff. So what's the only downside of jumping up to the 30s? So say I'm supposed to do 15 reps of curls, go up in weight and do 12 reps of curls, go up in weight and do 10 reps of curls, and then go up in weight and do 8 sets of curls. I'm sorry. 15 reps, 15, 12, 10, 8. Those are the reps, but I'm supposed to go up in weight every time. So on my 15 set, I do 20s. Now I have to take a little break and I do I'm supposed to do 25s for 12, but the 25s aren't there. So what would be the downside to going to the 30s? Maybe I won't get all 12. Okay, well maybe I get 11 of them. Maybe I struggle to get 10, but I get them. Like, there's zero downside except to the fact that they're gonna be fucking heavier than I expected. But that's what we're doing. We're lifting weights. We're strength training. There's no downside to picking the heavier weight because the 25s weren't there. That's it. There's literally no downside. I'm trying to think right now, like, what it could possibly be, except maybe I might cheat and swing a little bit on maybe the last rep. Because if I was supposed to do 25s, 30s aren't that much heavier, so it's not like I'm going to struggle. There's literally no downside. Another only thing would be, well, now I got to go to 35s for the 10, so I might struggle on the last one there. And then I got to go to 40s on the 8s, so I might struggle on those there. Okay? But guess what? It's only going to make me stronger. That's it. That's not a bad thing. That's what we signed up for when we joined the gym. And it's not going to make, it's not going to make me big and bulky one time of doing it, or the handful of times in the year that the dumbbells that I needed happened to not be there, so I had to go up in weight. Right? That might happen with that specific muscle group 5 times in a year. For that specific muscle group. So maybe the next time I come back around, Thursday, the next Thursday, the 25s, somebody's got the 25s again, but it happens to be shoulders for me. So guess what? I got to jump it up to 30s on the shoulder press. So that's not even going to matter. It's not going to make me big and bulky. So if there's a girl who's worried about being big and bulky, it literally the handful of times a year that's going to happen to you is not going to, make you not fit in that shirt because your shoulders are too big from that one time that you had to go up in weight instead. It doesn't work that way. But it will make you stronger. It'll make you more confident and more comfortable with doing 25s or 30s instead of 25s because you had to do them. I don't want to say the whole thing, but a big part of going to the gym and lifting weights and working out and changing our body is confidence. And if you have the confidence of doing 30s for 12, and then you do 35s or 10, and then you finally touch the 40s for 8, that's a huge confidence booster. Because you weren't planning on doing 40s. You were planning on doing 35s. And all of a sudden, now you're banging out 40s. Huge confidence booster. You weren't even going to touch 40s. So even if you only get them for 6, that's 6 more with the 40s than you were ever going to do that day. There's literally nothing wrong with that. Again, it's not going to make you big and bulky the one time that it happened to you with shoulders. And now the next week, you can do 40s. So now do them again. Do the whole setup again with the same weight. So you can even kick out the 20s. Now throw the 25s in as your warm-ups, as your set of 15. And then 30s for 12, 35s for 10, 40s. Now you can probably maybe get them for 7. And that is how you progress in the gym and in life and everything, and build up that consistent discipline, because now guess what? Now you're fucking excited. Now you want to try to get the next week, you want to try to get the 40s for 8. And you're excited to go do shoulders. And now the shoulder definition is starting to come out a little bit. And you're like, oh shit, I kind of like the way that looks. I like the way that my shoulders feel after crushing them. Guess what? That's the start, the snowball effect to consistent discipline. Because now you're starting to see it, because you're pushing it. You're getting out of your comfort zone and you're pushing it, and you're building your confidence, and that's going to build into going more regularly. It all comes down to that consistent discipline. And guess what? The less you go, the less you feel like going. People ask me all the time about my price per session. And I said, listen, the more you commit to me, the cheaper it is per session. So you want to sign up for 5 days a week? That's cheaper per session than the person that's signing up 3 days a week or 2 days a week. I don't even offer a 1 day a week price, because that's just silly. So the more you commit to me and commit to coming into the gym, the cheaper it is. Just like the more you go to the gym, the more excited you are to keep going to the gym. The less you go, the more sore you're going to feel, the less results you're going to get. So you're going to be less motivated. You're going to be less excited because you're not progressing, so you're not seeing the results. And also, you don't get to do the cool shit, because you're not getting the progress. So now, like, doing drop sets is like almost pointless, because you're still building a base. You're still just doing 15, 12, 10, 8. You're not doing a drop set as your fifth set. You're not doing 15, 12, 10, 8 and then a drop set of 8, 8, 8, 8, and 8. You know, you don't even know what that means, because you're fucking still doing 15, 12, 10, 8 and waiting for the guy to be done with the 25s, because you're not consistent enough. The more you go, the more fun you can have with it, because you build up the excitement and the challenge. We are in the gym. We are in there doing stuff to make the rest of life easy. And if you don't look at it like that, then you're doing it all wrong, right? Because, like, let's just break it down into the simplest form. Like, let's just say that you carry stuff for a living. So say you work for like a beverage company, and you carry crates of sodas and crates of drinks into like gas stations every day. Wouldn't you think that going to the gym and doing a bunch of curls and deadlifts and that kind of stuff makes your job easier? Like, you go lift heavy shit so that sodas are light. That's like the simplest. I'm breaking it down really simple for you, but that's the simplest form of doing shit in the gym to make the rest of life easy, right? Just like if you were doing some cardio, or if you do like a boot camp class, go do the hard boot camp class, so that way you can run around in the backyard with your kid and you're not fucking exhausted within 15 minutes. If you ever want to know my Disney World story, ask me. comment down below what the Disney story is, and I'll make a video about Disney, because it was like an epiphany for me in my career of what I needed to do to help people become better. And I'll tell you it in a different video. Comment down below if you want to see it, because we do it all too often as we get older, right? We get out of our regular life of stuff. You know, in high school and college, we played sports, and we went for runs, or we did spin class. And as we got older and got real jobs and had kids, those things went on the back burner. So now when your kid wants to run around and play basketball with you, you ain't got it in you anymore, and you're exhausted after 15 minutes, and you're calling a timeout, and your daughter or your son still wants to play, and you're over sitting on the stoop drinking water and gassed out. We gotta be consistently disciplined. We have to do it, and we have to do it for the rest of our lives. You need to understand that. And I'm not telling you you're never gonna have a piece of bread again. I'm not telling you you're never gonna have a beer again. I'm just saying you need to be more consistent with your health. No excuses.